Hey guys, Steph here and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm sharing my own practice for getting to know a new Oracle card deck. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I believe it is so important to deepen into a relationship with a new Oracle card deck, because when you do that, you get to know your deck well enough to become acquainted with the complexity of the messages, with the uniqueness of the messages, with the frequency of the messages, with the emotions and the thoughts and the symbols that it invokes within you. And this is the basis of a card reading that you can clearly intuit and brings great usefulness to the reading essentially. And that's what you want in your reading. You want something that is useful, something that you can take and practice and begin to see changes that are quantifiable in your everyday life. Sometimes it's nice just to get messages where you're told that everything's fine and just relax and surrender. And a lot of the messages that come through are that, because in our modern day culture, we just need to relax a bit and just trust a little bit more and have faith. And that's not something, the logical reasoning mind can do really well. But when you dive into the realm of Oracle cards, you're not diving into a realm of logic and reason. And logic and reason is such a powerful aspect of the human mind, but it's not the only faculty we possess. We have within us deep reservoirs of wisdom and knowledge that we are able to access, and Oracle cards can help us sort of get out of the normal pathways of thinking and begin to make connections that we might not have if we were in our everyday logical reasoning mind. This practice in particular is going to help you intuit cards without the guidebook. That's not to say that the guidebook's not important. It's actually a practice that marries together the two really well. Now, the guidebook is important, I believe, and it's actually pretty silly not to use it, because the author of the cards has spent time channeling and interpreting what they've channeled into unique symbols and messages and images that can help bring forth that non-physical into physical. And that's what Oracle cards are: non-physical messages, wisdom, inspiration in physicality right in front of us. So to ignore what the author said is to ignore the foundational vibrational frequency of the cards. And the way I explain this to people that have no idea is, if you think of a letter or a drawing that you've gotten from a child, you can never bring yourself to throw it away, even though in reality it's just a scrappy bit of paper with some scribbles on it. But encoded into those scribbles are the love and appreciation of that child towards you. So we frame it, we put it up on our fridge, and sometimes we even carry those letters from children all the way until those children are grown. And the reason we do that is because encoded into that piece of paper is a vibrational frequency of love and appreciation. It's the uniqueness of that child. And the very same thing happens with the Oracle cards. Within it is a fundamental frequency that can't be erased, no matter if you interpret the symbols in a different way. We can marry those two together. You can marry that mind of the creator and the author with yours and begin to create something even greater, like the two parts are greater as a whole. And in saying all that, I think it's time just to move on to the actual practice. So what I'm going to do is jump over onto VoiceOver, and I'm going to take you through this in real time to show you my practice. Also, don't forget, I do have an ebook on how to interpret Oracle cards, which will be linked in the description box below, which kind of builds on all these concepts I'm talking about, goes into them in a deeper way. So don't forget about that, and I'll see you in the VoiceOver. Okay, so what you're going to need with this practice is obviously your new deck. I have the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle here with me, and you're also going to need a notebook and a pen to write with. You can have your crystals and your candles and all that and set it up as a bit more of a ritual. So step one is basically just getting it started. I open it up and you'll see that I've got the guidebook here, and I just put that to the side for now. It is going to be part of our practice, but I'm just putting it away, keeping it safe for now. And then I get my cards and I just spread them out. This is the way I spread them out. You can do it whatever way you want, but I like just to have a really good look at each of the images. And it's like getting to know someone you've never met without any prerequisites, no judgments based on what other people have told you. So you're looking without the guidebook first. And then I just pick up the ones that are standing out, give it a good look. Yeah, just basically enjoying the deck as it is and not thinking too much about it, just exploring. Now, the next part is where I do my little mini clearing. Please, please, please be careful when you do this. I'm using a candle. You don't have to. You can use a sage stick or something like that. But here I'm just saying, be really careful. Keep the candle flame quite maybe 10 or 20 centimeters away from the actual card so you don't create any burn marks or have a danger of setting your house on fire. So right now I am just holding the intention to clear each card with the flame, and yeah, just letting the flame essentially do the work for me. Just 1 or 2 seconds over with that intention of just clearing, cleansing, renewing, thanking the deck for being here. This can be as unique to you as you want to make it, but basically just use a candle flame. Okay, now the next part is really exciting. Shuffle the cards in whatever way makes sense for you again. Again, you can just spread them out if you're not good at shuffling and you don't want to damage your cards. Spread them out on the table. But here I'm asking a question. What has this deck come to me for? I'm splitting the deck in half, and the card that reveals itself holds a message about what this deck has come to teach me. And I think this is really significant in getting to know your card deck. This is what it's coming to teach you. Is it coming to teach you whatever it's going to teach you? This one in particular was expansion, and I thought that was a really beautiful message because I have been struggling as of late with all these ego distortions stopping me from being my most authentic version of myself, because I think people are going to judge me and misunderstand me and misinterpret me and just think I'm silly or stupid or something like that. So the fact that this message came through, an expansion in that area, was just amazing. As you would have seen, I went straight to the guidebook. I didn't spend time intuiting this for myself. I just fundamentally went to what the vibrational frequency of this card was. It's such an important question. I didn't want to think about it too much. I just wanted the guidance straight from the guidebook. Now, here at the top of the page, I'm just writing down, I'm writing down what the deck is, and then I'm writing that question, what has this deck come to teach me? And just spending time writing down the key points, the things that are standing out to me that I read from the guidebook. You can pause the next clip to see the close-up and see how I summarized it in dot points, really. I didn't go into too much detail in this. Now, the next step or next part of the practice is to give the cards a little bit of a shuffle, pick a card, have a look at it, and then at the top of your next page, you're going to write down the number of the card and the name of the card. Usually cards have a word or two representing what the card's about. And that's part of the intuitive process, just using that word as a springboard again. So here, card 1, transformation. And I'm just writing down, not thinking about it too much, just words that jump out at me, feelings that jump out at me, colors that jump out at me, anything at all. Don't overthink this process. Just write down the things that are jumping out to you. It can be memories, it could be dreams, anything, write it down. Then we go to the guidebook and we find the card that matches and we give it a read through. Again, all you're doing here is pulling out the key points maybe that are matching what you wrote or the key points that are standing out to you. You do not have to write it down word for word, just the things that are standing out. Oh, my battery's running out. But anyway, that's what I do. It's twofold. I spend some time looking at the images, writing down my feelings, anything that pops up. Then I go to the guidebook and I write down the key points. And there I'm just getting this fundamental connection with the meaning of each card, and I'm beginning to link the images to certain feelings, to certain thoughts, to certain memories. And that's going to be the spark or the springboard that we talked about right at the beginning of the video. Here I'm going on to another card and doing it again. And you're just repeating this process over and over again until you've gone through each card. And you'll see here that it's A4 piece of paper, 2 cards to a page, and I'm leaving space to come back to this. I haven't done any drawings here. You might want to recreate the card if you can draw. You can stick things in like feathers if it reminds you of certain crystals. There's so much that you can do with this and so many ways that you can make this your own practice. But this is just like the bones of the practice. Spending time intuiting and then spending time reading. Okay, beautiful souls, thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I believe that 90% of my viewers haven't actually yet subscribed, so I'm sure I can smash out that 10,000 mark if you guys watching right now hit the subscribe button. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.